Thank you very much for recording, Henry. All right, we're going to go now. We left off when we finished the consent agenda, so I'm going to go to the adoption of the agenda now. I move. Anyone care to second?
CSA second.
CSA seconds. Be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Do we have any discussion or amendments here? I'm going to look into the chat and I'm going to wait for about 3 seconds. Yes, Ashley.
Yeah, I'd like to move to put the budget as the first item on the agenda, followed by 2 other items I'm going to amend on. They're just some kind of structure, administrative stuff we need to get done today.
All right. While you're going to get those items, I'm going to take Sam's list. Sam? MBB, you may list.
Well, I put the 2 motions in the agenda. Perhaps we could get a mover and seconder on those. Well, I move of a seconder, so we can put those on.
I'll second.
All right. Chloe seconds. That's very good. Okay. Seeking unanimous consent for them both as a batch. And it seems I am receiving no dissent. That's very good. This passes unanimously. We got them tacked on. Sam, I'm still waiting on your list.
Sorry, I retract it.
You retract it? All right then. Okay. Does anyone else have any lists or amendments? I'm going to All right. I'm gonna go straight ahead. Be it resolved to adopt the agenda as amended.
I'll move.
Seeking unanimous consent. There is no dissent. That's very good. We officially have our agenda. So, approval of the budget. Item 9.2 is the first one. I move. Anyone care to second?
Finance.
Finance seconds. All right. Whereas council is required to review and approve the preliminary budget for the next fiscal year. Whereas 2023 Finance and Admin Services Committee and Exec Committee have met to review the preliminary budget for the next fiscal year. Be it resolved that council officially approve the 2024 to 25 third draft budget as the preliminary budget for the 2024 to 25 fiscal year. I am going to be seeking unanimous consent. There is no dissent. This gladly passes unanimously. Well done. Well done. Afterwards, we're going to go on to the rest of the old business. So starting with item 9.1, Storm Hacks 2024.
No, I put my 2 motions directly after the budget.
Directly after it? Oh, I must have missed that. All right, we can take care of those first then. Let's take a look at the first one. Ratification of election results. All right, I move. Anyone care to second?
CSA.
I hear equity seconds. So whereas the chief commissioner is responsible for the submission of an electronics and referenda report to the outgoing council and the policy research community affairs coordinator, or designate following any election or referendum, whereas for SFSS elections and referenda policies, section PEP-1, after duly receiving and approving the elections and referenda report, the society shall ensure that the 3 latest received elections and referendum reports are appropriately shared with members of the SFSS. Be it resolved to receive the results of the spring 2024 elections. Be it further resolved to ratify the results of the IEC spring 2024 election reports. Firstly, I'm going to wait a little bit for any discussion or lists from anyone. This will be a very short time span, going once, going twice. I'm getting nothing. All right, then I'm going to go seek unanimous consent to approve this motion. I'm receiving no dissents or abstentions. That's very good. Then I'm going to assume that this passes unanimously. Very good. The next item is going to be the legal and staff liaison officer appointments. I move. Anyone like to second?
CSA.
I hear equity seconds, whereas the president serves as the legal liaison officer of the SFSS and one of the staff liaison officers of the SFSS, whereas the LLO often must be available to respond to time-sensitive matters, queries related to legal matters, be it resolved to appoint Emmanuel, I apologize if I pronounced the last name wrong, ADJOURNMENT, as the legal liaison officer and a staff liaison officer from May 1st, 2024 to the end of his term. I'm going to wait a few seconds for any lists from anyone. I'm getting none, so I'm also gonna go seek unanimous consent for this motion. Do we have any dissents? Going once, going twice. No, we don't. Then this passes unanimously. Well done. I will now move to our items that were on the agenda. Now what would be the storm hacks, which would be like the 9.1 item. Firstly, I move. Would anyone like to second this? Equity seconds. Where Storm Hacks is a 24-hour hackathon being held by SFU Surge on May 18, 19, 2024. Whereas SFU Surge has successfully ran the event annually 3 times since 2021. Where Storm Hacks is SFU's largest hackathon and only major league hacking. A credit hackathon at SFU and one of 2 in BC, where Storm Hacks has secured by $5,500 in external sponsor funding this year and lowered consumable costs significantly through partnerships with Red Bull and Steve's Pokebar, where Storm Hacks previously brought sponsors such as SAP, BGC Engineering, Tech, HSBC, Intact Insurance, etc., and judges with a software engineering or director background from Amazon, Microsoft, EA, PayPal, Plotty, Salesforce, D-Wave, and more. Whoa, that's a long list. Whereas SFU Surge was able to host and successfully run the event in 2023 in the sub with over 170 hackers, 20 mentors or judges, and 6 workshops during its return following the COVID-19 pandemic, whereas SFU Surge is hosting its next iteration of Storm Hacks for 250 students this year and continue to hope its tradition, whereas they are requesting $18,703 of funding to support Storm Hacks 2024. Be it resolved to approve X amount in funding in support of this event. Now, I would like to ask for any lists from anyone. Yes, Sindhu.
Yes, just noting that the staff, according to the funding guidelines and based on the sponsorship information that was provided, which was $2,000, which I think is a little different than what's in the motion, they approved $15,749. And that's once again for $2,000 worth of external funding. So it's up to council how much you want to approve. But just wanted to give you that clarification.
Yes, yes. And I can update, I've spoken with Storm Hacks about this issue, and they are aligned with the approved amount, $15,749. I propose, for the interest of us, we might as well approve this, the amount that Sindhu has put into the chat. Do we have any other lists from anyone else? Yeah, Sam.
I move to amend the amount stated in the grant motion from the previous $18,000 figure to $15,749.
Yep. And if you move, I second it. I'm going to seek unanimous consent to add this change. And I'm not receiving any dissents or anything from anyone, so this passes. It's officially. I think we might be done with lists, so be it resolved to approve the amount of, let me check it to be precise, $15,749 of funding in support of the Storm Hacks 2024 events. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. And I'm receiving no dissents for anyone. All right, then this would pass unanimously. Very good, very good. Now we're going to move on to item 9.3, which is called changes to SO19 Space Oversight Committee. Submitted by Acting VP Internal. I move. Would anyone like to second? Equity seconds.
Internal.
Whereas the Space Oversight Committee of the last council year made recommendations that were never considered by the Governance Committee, whereas the Governance Committee reviewed these changes on March 21st, 2024, whereas the Governance Committee made the following recommendation of changes to SPOC policy to council. Be it resolved that council adopt the following changes to SO19, correct numbering to renumber number to 19, correct typos, remove subcommittees, remove definition 18.6, change the composition of the following, and then there's a list to describe the composition, which is going to be, first of all, ex officio president, second chairperson would be counselor, VP finances and services, number 4 will be VP internal and organizational development, number 5 will be 2 counselor members, number 6 would be 0 to 2 student at-large members, number 7 is going to be non-voting facilities manager, number 8 is going to be non-voting building coordinators, and number 9 is going to be non-voting other staff as requested by the executive from time to time. Do we have any lists? I sure hope people were able to hear me all right. Do we have any lists from anyone?
No, I think we're good to go.
No, we're good to go. Okay, then. Then I'm going to move straight to voting, and I'm going to cautiously assume unanimous consent. And I'm receiving no dissents of any kind, so I'm going to say that this passes unanimously. Well done. And that's basically it as far as items go. Then I'm going to go to, first of all, there's going to be 30 minutes Q&A, and then there's going to be 2 announcements. Then we can move on to adjournment. That's basically all we have left. I don't assume we're going to have Q&A. So I'm going to, in this meeting, skip it, go straight to the announcements. First one is going to be the mechatronics. Oh, these ones should have been announced. I think they should have been announced at the very start. They're very small. Mechatronics counselor leave of absence from 2024, April 2nd to April 30th, and then there's a computing science leave of absence within a very similar time range. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. If there's anything else, I don't think there is. Someone interrupt me because I'm about to go straight to adjournment. Meanwhile, I move to adjourn this meeting.
Internal seconds.
I hear equity seconds. Be it resolved to adjourn this meeting at, what is it, 7:13 p.m. I'm going to go. Can I get unanimous consent from anyone? And I'm receiving no dissents. We can officially approve this meeting as adjourned. This has been the last